Hi everyone, today I'm going to check out the Kuretake ZIG FUDEBIYORI Pigment Milky White pens. It's a pack of 3 that I got. The Kuretake MANNEN MOUHITsu brush pen, it's the number 13. And I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering all those words, but I'm doing my best. So yeah, it's a number 13 brush pen. And then another Kuretake brush pen, which is, I believe, a Cartoonist, and that's the number 8. So I've had the number 8 for a while, and it's really good, but I wanted to try the number 13 and compare it with the number 8. So the number 13 is a lot shorter, and I believe it's a metal barrel. It has real bristles, they're in nylon. The barrel is usually black, but I picked the red one because I thought it would be easier to find amongst my many pens. And there are a couple of different versions of the same pen with natural bristles. However, I found that natural bristles are usually a bit softer, and to me they're harder to control. The nylon bristles are a little bit stiffer, and for me, who's a beginner, I find them much easier to use. So this brush pen comes with cartridges, just like a fountain pen, and it comes with 3 of them. So it's very easy to put in, just like a regular fountain pen. There's one end of it that has a little metal ball, so that's the one you stick into the pen and you press it, and then the little ball will fall, and then just wait for the ink to reach the bristles, and then it's ready to use. So this pen is really pretty, and it feels nice and sturdy, good quality. It cost me about 20 bucks, so it's really not that expensive. For the white brush pens, the tip is felt, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to try and use it on toned paper. So I get my Strathmore Mixed Media Tone Paper Sketchbook. It's a tan color and it's very thick. The paper is very thick. And I just did some swatches. The white is actually more opaque than I expected. You can make broad strokes and finer ones with the very tip of it. And if you add an extra layer once the first one is dry, then you can get an even more opaque white. So I think it will be a lot of fun to play with it. The brush pen number 13 is really nice. Because it's shorter than the number 8, it's lighter. To me, it's easier to handle because I don't have a very big hand. It can make very fine lines and pretty broad lines as well. The ink that came with it is very dark, and all in all, I really enjoy using it. Now for the number 8, it comes with a longer barrel. I think it's because you can use it for calligraphy, but I'm pretty sure the bristles are the same. It handles exactly the same in my opinion, except that one is twice as cheap, and probably because it's just plastic. So once the 3 inks were dry, I used a water brush to see how they fared with water. It doesn't seem like the white ink is waterproof. However, it didn't really spread. It seemed like it just disappeared in the water. It's kind of interesting. It just dissolved. The ink that came with the number 13 is a water-based pigment ink. And if you wait long enough and you use the right paper, it's supposed to be waterproof or at least water resistant. I don't think I waited long enough for this. And then the ink that came with the number 8 is water-based dye ink, so it's a little different, and that one's definitely not waterproof. For this video, I forgot to check if they were alcohol-based marker resistant or proof, but I tried several days later, so you know that the ink was definitely dry. The ink of the number 8, so the water-based dye ink, is alcohol-proof. The one for number 13, the water-based pigment ink, is not alcohol-proof, or at least not on this paper. I tried it with the white ink, and it doesn't really smudge. It's kind of like the water, but it kind of disappears a little bit. That said, it might be interesting to use them both together to see what they can do. Some special effects, I don't know. I'll check it out later. Also, the ink of the number 13, the pigment ink, seems slightly warmer when you dilute it. Not by much, but if you look at the ink of the number 8, the dye ink, it has more of a blue undertone. When you look at the 2 cartridges, you can definitely tell they are not the same. The one for the number 13 is written in silver, and the one for the number 8 is written in gold and is a little longer and thinner at the end. That said, you can use either one for either brush pen. It doesn't matter. They will fit. But I found that the ink for the number 13 is a lot harder to find and therefore a bit more expensive. So if you want to save money on cartridges, you can always buy a pen converter, which is a refillable ink cartridge. And the one for the Kuretake brush pens is called Platinum, so it's a platinum converter. And you can use some ink to refill them. But you can also, if you have a syringe, just refill the cartridges themselves. That way you don't have to buy the converter. I'll make a video later on to show my experimentation with different inks and how to refill the cartridges. But for now, it's time to play with the number 13, the new one to me. And so I decided to draw a crow skull. I sketched it first, and then I lined it with the brush pen, the number 13. What I like with this pen is that it gives me confidence. Again, I'm not very good at inking, at lining my art, or hatching, but this pen is so easy to handle, and the brush is stiff enough that it's much easier to control. So I really had a lot of fun using it, because it made me feel like I knew what I was doing, and the result is pretty good. Once I was done inking, I used my water brush with a little bit of water in it to dissolve some of the ink to work on the shading. And then I used a white brush pen to add the highlights. I must say that because I used some hatching and I used the tone paper, I didn't really need to add more shadows with the water because it kind of looks a little bit muddy in some areas, especially in contrast with the white highlights. That said, it was my first try and I think it looked pretty good. So I'm going to be playing more with this and see how I like it. So far, I really like it. I'm going to make another video drawing with the two brushes. So I'll make a drawing with the number 8 and then a drawing with the number 13. And I'll see if really there is a difference. And yeah, so far I really like it. I'm glad I feel comfortable with it. And hopefully it's going to push me to work more with ink and get better and better at it. So thank you for stopping by. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're feeling extra generous, you can always click on the thanks button next to the share button to support this channel. And I'll see you soon with another video. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.